Good morning, afternoon, evening, or 3 a.m. snack hunting session to all my loyal people still surviving life, inflation, and debt collectors hiding behind unknown phone numbers. Today's movie is about one science teacher who wakes up in space with memory loss, and somehow gets promoted to humanity's last hope. Bro can't even remember his password, but now he gotta save Earth. What a joke. So grab your noodles, chips, or whatever expired snack is still legal to eat. Welcome back to Recap's Movie, and this is Project Hail Mary. Story begin by meeting Grace, a junior high school science teacher. While teaching his class one day, a student asks him about the Petrova line, something that's been all over the news lately. Grace explains that 2 years ago, a Russian scientist named Petrova discovered a strange infrared line stretching all the way from the Sun to the planet Venus. Scientists investigated, and they found bizarre particles scattered all along this Petrova line. The terrifying part? They believe this line is slowly, but surely, dimming the Sun. In just 30 years, the dying Sun will plunge Earth into an extreme freeze, killing all plant life and potentially triggering human extinction. Hearing this, the students are absolutely terrified. But Grace calmly reassures them. He tells them not to worry, because NASA and the world's top scientists are already working on a fix. After the school bell rings, a mysterious woman approaches Grace. Her name is Eva, a top NASA official and the head researcher of the Petrova line team. Eva confesses that she actually admires Grace's past work, specifically, a highly controversial paper where he claimed water isn't the only requirement for life. That bold theory actually got Grace completely ostracized by the scientific community. Grace smiles, standing by his belief that out there in space, there must be life forms that don't depend on water. Eva then makes an unexpected offer. She wants Grace to join her team. She reveals that NASA has already obtained physical samples from the Petrova line. And since Grace is a brilliant molecular biologist on top of being a teacher, she wants him to study it. Initially, Grace hesitates, but Eva drops a bombshell. She tells him the substance looks like a living organism. Driven by sheer curiosity, Grace finally agrees. Long story short, Grace steps into a highly secured lab wearing full hazmat gear, while Eva and top government officials watch his every move from the outside. After running a few tests, Grace confirms the impossible: the sample is alive. It's a single-celled organism. But Grace is slightly disappointed when he discovers the cell does contain water. It seems water really is essential for life, even in outer space. Grace then reports back to Eva. The sample emits incredibly strong infrared light. These tiny cells are literally absorbing the sun's energy to fuel themselves. But one massive mystery remains: why does the Petrova line only stretch between the Sun and Venus? Why not the other planets? Eva dismisses him for the day, saying she'll continue the research with other scientists. But Grace, now completely obsessed, begs to stay on the project. Eva finally gives in, but she only gives him a measly 3 cells to study. Grace decides to name these mysterious cells astrophage. Determined to crack the case, Grace builds a makeshift replica of Venus's atmosphere using a simple cardboard box. He theorizes that astrophage is attracted to the insanely high levels of CO2 gas on Venus. And guess what? He's right. The astrophage immediately darts toward the CO2 source. Grace then places his cardboard box in a sealed room to recapture the fast-moving cells. But when he checks on them later, the 3 cells have multiplied into 4. They're breeding. They use the sun's energy, but they need the rich CO2 of Venus to reproduce. Boom! Mystery solved. Grace immediately boards a private jet to a massive aircraft carrier in the middle of the ocean to meet Eva. Bursting into a room full of scientists, he proudly announces that he successfully made the astrophage breed. One scientist skeptically asks, "Could you breed, say, 2 million of them?" Grace is utterly confused. Why on earth would they need that many? Eva steps up and reveals the terrifying scale of their mission, Project Hail Mary. It turns out, our Sun isn't the only dying star. Nearby stars across the galaxy are also fading. But there is one star, Tau Ceti, located 11 light-years away from Earth, that is perfectly fine, even though astrophage is present there. NASA plans to build a massive spaceship to travel to Tau Ceti and find out exactly why it isn't dimming. The catch? They need an insane amount of energy to get there, and astrophage is the ultimate rocket fuel. But here's the dark truth: 2 million astrophage cells are only enough for a one-way trip. The findings in Tau Ceti will be sent back to Earth via mini drones, but the crew? They will never return. It's a suicide mission. But it's the only way to save humanity. Eva introduces the 3 brave crew members who will pilot the Hail Mary: Commander Yao, Engineer Alicia, and a scientist named Du Bois. They are all willing to sacrifice themselves for the mission. To prove the terrifying power of their new fuel, Grace demonstrates how a single drop of astrophage can melt a ton of solid metal in seconds. It's incredibly volatile. Du Bois and the other scientists immediately start working with the cells in the lab. But suddenly, tragedy strikes. While Grace and Eva are talking outside, a massive explosion rips through the facility. Du Bois miscalculated the astrophage mixture. The blast instantly kills Du Bois and the entire team of scientists working inside. Stone-faced, Eva declares that Project Hail Mary must stay on schedule. They urgently need a replacement scientist to go to space. And naturally, all eyes turn to Grace. He's the only one left alive who truly understands astrophage. But Grace is terrified. He firmly refuses, telling Eva he's just a teacher, he's not astronaut material. Eva pleads with him, warning that if the sun keeps dimming, a quarter of humanity will starve to death in just 30 years. Grace understands the stakes, but he still stubbornly says no. Suddenly, a doctor and heavily armed guards storm into the room. Eva coldly apologizes, saying she has to use force. Grace panics and tries to run, but he's quickly tackled, injected with a sedative, and falls into a deep, dark coma. Fast forward. Grace wakes up inside a sealed pod. An AI voice informs him that he's been in a coma for a very long time, and temporary amnesia is to be expected. Panicking, Grace scrambles up a ladder only to freeze in horror. There's a dead woman strapped to a bed. He soon realizes he is floating in zero gravity. He is in deep space. He doesn't remember why he's here, but weirdly, he knows exactly how to operate the ship's consoles and remembers the entire layout of the vessel. Entering the control room, the AI drops another heavy blow. Commander Yao has also passed away. Grace is the sole survivor. Crunching the numbers, Grace is shocked to discover his location. He is exactly 11 light-years away from Earth. Looking at the personal belongings of Yao and Alicia, his memories finally come rushing back. He remembers everything. Heavy-hearted, Grace gives his fallen crewmates a respectful space burial, releasing their bodies into the endless void. Eventually, the ship arrives in the orbit of the Tau Ceti star. Grace immediately peers through the special telescope, and yes, the Petrova line is here too. But strangely, the star isn't dimming at all. Suddenly, the ship's radar pings. An unidentified object is rapidly approaching. Grace is absolutely stunned to see a massive alien spaceship much larger than his own. Terrified, Grace tries to fly away and dodge it, but the alien ship chases him down. The alien ship fires a projectile straight at him. Grace braces for an explosion, thinking it's a bomb, but nothing happens. Moments later, the ship fires again, but this time, it moves at a ridiculously slow speed. Grace realizes, this isn't an attack. They are gently sending him something to catch. Bursting with adrenaline, Grace suits up, steps outside into the void, and successfully catches the alien object. Back inside, Grace analyzes the object and discovers it's made of pure xenon, which is baffling, since xenon is a gas on Earth. He spins up the ship to create artificial gravity and opens the container. A bizarre, planetarium-like model pops out. It's a message. The aliens are telling him they come from a distant planet named Arid. In response, Grace places a tiny model of Earth into the container and sends it back. Soon after, the aliens reply with a perfect xenon replica of Grace's ship. And then, the alien ship physically extends a massive tunnel, connecting both spacecrafts together. Grace puts his helmet back on and bravely walks through the mysterious tunnel. Peering through a transparent dividing wall at the very end, he sees it. An alien. It looks like a giant, rocky spider. The creature shows Grace the Earth replica, then gestures for Grace to return to his ship. Confused but compliant, Grace heads back. The alien then detaches the tunnel, spins its ship to create gravity, and reattaches the bridge. Grace realizes the alien wants them to interact on equal footing. Grace heads back in, bringing lights and a camera to record everything. He knocks on the clear dividing wall, and the rocky alien appears again. The alien starts mimicking Grace's movements, it's trying to communicate. The alien points to a box near Grace. Inside is a strange, headband-like object. The alien gestures for Grace to take off his helmet, but Grace refuses. He needs oxygen to breathe. Grace signals that his flashlight battery is dying and excuses himself. But back on his ship, analyzing the headband, Grace realizes it's shaped exactly like an oxygen molecule. Could the alien have filled his side of the tunnel with oxygen? Taking a massive leap of faith, Grace returns, takes off his helmet, and he can breathe. Examining the alien's gifts, Grace realizes the alien is also tracking the Petrova line. They share the exact same mission, saving their dying solar systems. Grace officially names the rocky alien Rocky. Grace tries to communicate using numbers, a clock, and a tape measure. But when he pushes the tape measure against Rocky's side of the wall, Grace feels intense, searing heat. He realizes Rocky breathes superheated ammonia. But weirdly, Rocky doesn't react to the visual cues. Listening to Rocky's vocal sounds, Grace has a massive revelation: Rocky doesn't have eyes. He sees using highly sensitive sonar echolocation. Grace quickly glues physical bumps onto the clock so it has texture, and it works. Rocky can feel the sound waves bouncing off it. Using a laptop, Grace starts recording and translating Rocky's musical chords into human words. Rocky is a genius alien scientist, and Grace knows, together, they can save both their worlds. Over time, Grace completely masters Rocky's language. Rocky reveals he came with a crew of 23. But they all died mysteriously. Only Rocky survived. Grace shares that he, too, is the last of his crew. Grace then builds a custom voice synthesizer for Rocky, allowing the alien to speak back in English. After a long day of chatting, Grace says he needs to go sleep. Rocky aggressively protests. Rocky explains that his crew died in their sleep, so he's terrified of letting Grace out of his sight. Touched, Grace reassures him that he'll be perfectly fine. Later, Rocky literally moves into Grace's ship, wearing a special transparent shell to protect his body from the deadly oxygen. They begin researching together. Grace learns that Rocky's home planet has a thick ammonia atmosphere that blocks all space radiation. Rocky didn't even know radiation existed. That's what killed his crew. Rocky only survived because his specific workstation was shielded by radiation-absorbing astrophage. Realizing they need samples from the end of the local Petrova line, Grace flies the ship toward a nearby planet they name Adrian. During the trip, they bond. Grace shows Rocky simulations of Earth, admitting how much he misses the beach. Rocky, in turn, talks about missing his wife of over 180 years back on planet Arid. Upon reaching planet Adrian, Grace steps outside and successfully collects the astrophage samples. Analyzing the data, they make a massive breakthrough. There are fewer astrophage leaving Adrian than arriving. Why? Because there's a predator. A microscopic bacteria in Adrian's atmosphere is eating the astrophage. This is why the star isn't dimming. If they can bring this bacteria home, it will eat the astrophage and save their planets. But to get the bacteria, the ship has to dip dangerously close into Adrian's violent, crushing atmosphere. Rocky comes up with an insane idea. He builds an epic 5-kilometer-long fishing chain. While Rocky builds the gear, Grace practices extreme piloting so the ship doesn't get ripped apart. Noticing Grace recording their work, Rocky asks why he doesn't just explain it directly to his people when he gets home. Grace goes silent, and admits the heartbreaking truth. He doesn't have enough fuel for a return trip. He's only sending the cure back on tiny drones. He will die out here. Stunned, Rocky immediately offers Grace 2 million astrophage cells from his own massive reserves. "I don't want you to die," Rocky says. Overwhelmed with emotion, Grace breaks down crying. He never expected to be saved by an alien. He pulls Rocky into a tight hug. They execute the daring fishing maneuver. Grace steps out to retrieve the sample box from the end of the chain. But suddenly, aerodynamic pressure violently rips a piece off the ship, smashing right into Grace. The sample box goes flying but gets snagged on the hull. Seeing Grace struggle, Rocky screams for him to come back inside. It's too dangerous. But Grace refuses to let Earth die. He leaps, grabs the box, and miraculously makes it back inside. But the nightmare isn't over. As Grace tries to pilot away, the immense gravity pulls them back in. 2 astrophage fuel tanks rupture, blasting fuel everywhere. With pure brute force, Grace manages to detach the leaking tanks, but the explosive force slams him brutally against the monitors. He manages to engage the auto-stabilizers before passing out. Seeing his friend dying, Rocky makes the ultimate sacrifice. He steps completely out of his protective shell. The oxygen immediately starts burning his flesh. Screaming in agony, Rocky drags Grace to the medical bay so the ship's AI can heal him, before collapsing into a charred heap. Grace wakes up to a horrific sight, black ash everywhere. Rocky's charred body is back inside his shell, completely motionless. Panicking, Grace sets up heat lamps, praying his friend will recover. Reading Rocky's last message urging Grace to finish the mission, Grace tearfully continues the research alone. He discovers the astrophage-eating bacteria works perfectly, but sadly, it dies instantly when exposed to nitrogen. And Venus is completely full of nitrogen. Grace has to force rapid evolution. He breeds the bacteria inside a xenon tank, slowly introducing nitrogen. Miraculously, it mutates. The new strain is fully nitrogen-resistant. He breeds it in massive quantities, hoping Rocky wakes up soon to take it back to Arid. Days later, Rocky finally wakes up. Grace is absolutely overjoyed. They celebrate, and Grace gives Rocky a laptop filled with all of Earth's knowledge as a parting gift, hoping he'll never forget him. Rocky wants to give Grace a gift too, so he invites him over. Wearing a custom-built protective shell, Grace enters Rocky's ship. Even though it's pitch black inside, Grace is completely mind-blown by the incredibly advanced Iridian technology. Fuel tanks full, the 2 heroes share a final, emotional goodbye. Grace severs the tunnel. Thanks to Rocky's fuel, he is finally going home. But hours later, alarms blare. Grace finds a catastrophic breach. The mutated bacteria evolved too well, it can now eat completely through xenon. Grace quickly contains his own leak. But then, a horrifying realization hits him like a truck. Rocky's entire ship is made of xenon. Rocky doesn't have radiation detectors. His fuel will be eaten, the radiation will leak, and Rocky will die. Grace looks at his fuel gauge. If he turns back to save Rocky, he won't have enough fuel to reach Earth. He has to make the ultimate choice. Without hesitation, Grace launches the mini drones loaded with the cure toward Earth, and turns his ship around to save his best friend. Days later, Grace finally catches up to Rocky's dead ship. He enters the tunnel, heart pounding as Rocky isn't answering. But then, Rocky appears. They are reunited. Meanwhile, back on a freezing, dying Earth, Eva receives the drones. Humanity successfully breeds the bacteria, deploys it, and the sun finally shines bright and warm once again. Earth is saved. And what about Grace? He's still alive. He is now living out his days on the alien planet Arid, inside a massive, custom-built biodome made just for him by Rocky's people, complete with a fake beach. Rocky tells Grace that Iridian scientists have finally built a ship for him to go back to Earth. But Grace smiles and politely declines. He's happy right where he is, living his dream as the first ever biology teacher for a classroom full of little alien spider kids. And that's the incredible story of Project Hail Mary, guys. I hope you enjoyed this wild ride. The main message we can take away from this movie? Not all aliens are out to get us. So don't panic if you ever bump into one. Drop your thoughts, critiques, and suggestions in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe and like for more awesome content. This is Recaps Movie, signing off.